Hello students, Professor Cleveland here with a quick tutorial on how to edit content on the Trinity platform at the course website. Here I am at the course homepage, and as you've already experienced, content is organized by chapters or folders. If I click on an arrow next to a folder, it reveals the content that's contained within that folder. I'll show you how to create new content in new folders and how to organize and move things around in a moment. On every page, there are two basic ways to edit content. The editing gear, up here below the search box, gives me different options for editing content depending on the type of page that I'm on. Up here in the upper left, there's an Add Content icon, where I can add articles, videos, and other types of content. So let's say I want to get started on my work, and let's say I'm working on a California case study, and I want to put it in the Case Studies folder. So I'll click the Case Studies folder and go up to the upper left and click Add Article. Now I have an editing box where I can add and edit content, and notice that there are numerous different icons similar to Microsoft Word that allow me to edit content in particular ways. First, let's give this a title, California Case Study. Now I could just start manually entering content, or if you're like me, I will sometimes create content in a Word document first and move it over. So here's a Word document where I've created some content related to California. Notice that the content has some formatting. It has bold, it has some italics, and it has a link. I'm just going to select that, copy it, and then click on this W icon, which is a function that allows me to paste content from Microsoft Word directly. I'll paste it in there and click OK. The first time you create a new piece of content, at the lower right, there's a Create button. I click that, I click Publish, and then View. And now I'm back actually looking at the website like a user would. You can see the formatting has carried over, the bold, the italics, and the link. In this case, it's a link to a New York website. If I go back to the home page and go to my Case Studies folder, you'll see that my content is there. If I click on that, I'll go back and add some more content. So I go to the editing gear, click Edit Content. So let's say I wanted to add some headings to organize my content. So I'll go in here and create a heading. I'll select it, go up and choose Heading 1. Now I've created a heading. We'll see how that looks in a moment when I save it. Let's see how to add links. There are two basic types of links. One is a link that directs the student or the user to a different website. The other is a link that downloads a PDF. Let's see how to do that. So let's say I have a website at California that I want to link to. So I'll go up here to California, and then I'll click the link icon to chain link, and I get a box which asks me to add a URL. Now I've already picked a website that I want to direct the user to. So here's a California Community Choice site. So I'm just going to copy the URL, go back to my article, and then paste that link in there and click OK. And now you can see that that link has been added to that piece of text. The second type of link you can add allows the user to directly download a PDF. So let's say I wanted to add a PDF download for some content related to New Jersey. So you can see that over here I've found a PDF of the actual legislation in New Jersey related to CCA. So I'll go in, select the text I want to link, click the link icon again, but now I'm going to click the Upload tab, and that's going to allow me to choose a file, which I have on my desktop. I click Choose, and I click Send it to the server, which uploads it, and I click OK. Let's save this content now. And now you'll see that both of these links have been added. Clicking on the California link takes me to that California site, and clicking on the New Jersey link downloads that PDF. Okay, let's go back in and edit some more content. Let's say I have a table that I want to add with some data. The easiest way to enter tables is by first putting it in Microsoft Excel. So I've created an example here. Let me make this a little bigger so you can see it. So in this case, it's some hypothetical data. Whoops. On, say, prices and other information related to some towns for different years. It could be text or numbers. Notice I've also included a link in the table. And all I'm going to do is select the cells that I want to make the table out of. I'm going to copy that. And then go into the text where I want to insert a table and create a line break. And all I'm going to do is select Paste. And you can see that I've created a table. And there I can do some basic formatting. I can make this bold. I can center the content, and so on. Once the table is inserted, I can right-click on the table, and it gives me different options for editing the table, including adding rows and columns, or deleting the table. I might want to create some space around the table. Let's also center the table. So I'm going to go to, I right-clicked, Table Properties, Center, and click OK. Now I've created a table. Let's say I also wanted to add some figures. In this case, I found a nice map of California. I'm going to show you that. So I'm now at a different website, and I like this map of California. So I'm actually going to drag this map into my folder or my desktop. You can see here it's a PNG file. You can use PNG or JPEGs. And let's say that I want to add my figure here after this, this paragraph. So I create a new line, and I go up to the editing menu, and there's an icon here that allows me to add a template to place a figure. So I click on that, and I can choose different ways to, different places on the page to add my image. Usually it's best to put it full width, which is going to center this. So now I've created a little box which has the ability to add an image and also a caption. So I'm going to double click on this image, and I'm going to click the Upload tab, and it's going to allow me to choose a file. And here's my image that I've downloaded. So I'm going to choose that, select Send to the server, which uploads it, gives me a preview. You can edit the size of it, but I would leave that alone in most cases, and click OK. And there's my image. I would add a caption, Figure 1, map of California districts, and then always include the actual source. So let's go down and save this now and take a look at the content that we've added. You can see my table there, which includes a link and there's my figure. All right. One other thing I wanted to show you for your article is to add references. So I'm going to create at the bottom here a list of references. Never get the formatting right here. I have trouble talking and typing at the same time. Okay, let's make that a heading. And now I'm going to add a list of references. So let's say that I took some content from this page on California on regulatory and legislative platforms. So I'm just going to copy that, go back to my page here, whoops, and I'm going to use this other icon up to the word, next to the word icon, it says paste as plain text. If you use that, I can paste that in there and it strips formatting, which is what I want. Go down here and just edit this. So here I've put the title of the page, and this is the California Community Choice Association. So I'm just going to California Community Choice Association. So I have the source and the title, and now I'm going to go back and just grab the link. So I copy the web address, go back here, select the title, and then from the editing menu, click the link and paste that in. Click OK. And now, if I save this, you can see that I've started a reference list, and it contains links back to the source page. Click on that link, and it takes me back to the California page. So now you've learned the basics of creating an article and some basic editing. Pretty straightforward. One last editing point here, how to add a new chapter or folder. Those terms are used synonymously. It's done a little bit differently than adding an article. Over here in the left menu, I see create a chapter. So I create a chapter, and let's say I want to subdivide my content in the case study folders between states and cities. So I'm going to create a new chapter called State Case Studies. And notice here in the directory tree location, I can choose where I want to put it. So if I put it under Community Choice Aggregation, which is the name of the website, it's going to create a main folder similar in hierarchy to the existing ones. Or I can make a folder within a folder by clicking on one of these other folders. So I want to put it in the Case Studies folder. So I'll click Submit. And now, if I go to the home page, you'll see within the Case Studies folder, I now have a State Case Studies folder. So what I need to do now is move my entry that I just created into that folder. So go back here to the actual article, go to the editing gear, click Edit Content. Now notice above the editing bar, I have the bar that's labeled Classification. If I click that, it shows me where in the hierarchy my content is tagged. And currently is tagged to the Case Studies folder. This plus sign indicates there's a folder within this particular folder. There's the folder I just created on State Case Studies. I'm going to tag that is where I want it. Now there's a little glitch in this system in that you'll notice that it also, when I changed the classification, it tagged it to the main page. I want to unselect that. and unselect case studies because I only want it associated with this case studies folder. Click Save. And now if I go back to the main page, I open the case studies folder, state case studies. There's my California case studies. So that's a quick and dirty overview of how to edit content on the platform. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. And happy editing.